The story of the U.S. traffic men, often known as traffic police or traffic officers, doesn't have a singular old story in the same way mythological or legendary tales do. However, there are historical aspects related to the development of traffic control and the role of traffic officers in the U.S. Here's a brief historical overview. Early traffic control and the role of traffic officers in the U.S. In the early 20th century, as automobiles became more common, American cities began to face significant traffic problems. Before the advent of traffic lights, traffic control was done manually by traffic policemen. These officers stood in intersections and directed vehicles, much like how we imagine in early black and white movies. One of the first recorded uses of traffic officers was in New York City in the early 1900s. The growing number of cars, combined with horse-drawn carriages and pedestrians, made streets chaotic and dangerous. The traffic men were tasked with maintaining order and reducing accidents. Iconic traffic men, Officer William Phelps, one figure often associated with the early development of traffic management, though not a traffic officer himself, was William Phelps Eno, known as the father of traffic safety. Eno designed some of the earliest traffic rules, signs, and systems. He wrote a set of rules for driving that eventually evolved into the modern traffic code. Though he never learned to drive, his work influenced how traffic officers would regulate traffic in the future. The first electric traffic light, 1914. Another significant development came in 1914, when the first electric traffic light was installed in Cleveland, Ohio. This helped ease the burden on traffic officers who had to manually direct traffic. However, traffic officers continued to play a critical role in managing traffic, especially during emergencies, large events, or when traffic lights were not available. The iconic traffic officers of New York, one famous example of traffic men becoming iconic figures in American culture, comes from New York City. In the mid-20th century, traffic officers in NYC were celebrated for their hand signals, whistle blows, and rhythmic movements as they directed the chaotic flow of cars, taxis, and pedestrians. They became such a fixture of city life that many tourists would watch them perform their duties almost as if it were a choreographed dance. One well-known NYC traffic officer was Patrolman Donald Brown, who was often called the traffic cop with the golden voice. Brown became famous for directing traffic with both precision and flair, sometimes entertaining crowds with his booming commands and smooth movements. Decline in traffic. Men on the streets. As traffic lights, surveillance cameras, and other modern technologies evolved, the need for manual traffic direction by officers diminished. However, traffic officers still play a vital role during special events, natural disasters, and in areas where signals are insufficient or malfunctioning. Cultural representation. Traffic officers have been depicted in classic American films, cartoons, and comics, often symbolizing order and authority. The image of a traffic policeman standing in the middle of a busy intersection, confidently controlling the flow of vehicles with hand signals, is an iconic part of American history. In summary, while there may not be a singular old story about traffic men in the U.S., their role in the early 20th century was critical to managing the emerging automobile culture. Their presence helped shape the infrastructure and laws that govern traffic today.